All right, let's get into it. We're always talking about how to find more motivation, how to just push through the grind. But what if that's the wrong goal entirely? What if the real aim isn't about forcing it, but about building a system where you barely need to? Today, we are breaking down how to create a way of working that's actually truly sustainable.
I mean, you know this feeling, right? That first rush of a new idea? It's amazing. You're all in, working late, totally obsessed, and you think, this is it. And then, a few weeks later, poof. It all just fizzles out. The energy vanishes, the project grinds to a halt, and you're just left wondering, what happened to my motivation?
But here's the big idea. The problem probably isn't you. It's not some kind of personal flaw or a lack of discipline. The real issue is the way we've been taught to think about work. We're chasing the wrong thing, and it's leading us straight into burnout.
And that brings us to what we can call the enthusiasm trap. It's this super common cycle of relying on these huge, short-term bursts of energy to get things done. And yeah, it feels really productive for a minute, but as a long-term strategy, it's just completely broken.
So this slide lays it out perfectly. On one side, you've got that burst of enthusiasm. It's all hype, it's high energy, and it almost always crashes and burns. But on the other side, you have simple repetition. That's all about consistency, finding a good pace, and that's what leads to sustainability. I mean, think about it. Anything worth doing long-term, building a business, learning an instrument, it never comes from a few intense moments of excitement. It comes from showing up day after day. And this quote, this just nails it. Let that sink in for a second. Tolerable effort. It's not about finding some superhuman well of motivation every single day. It's about finding a rhythm, a workflow that you can actually tolerate, that you can maintain for the long haul.
Okay, so if asking, how can I get more motivated is the wrong question, then what's the right one? Well, it turns out that one simple shift in the question you ask yourself can change literally everything about how you approach your work.
See, we're all sort of trained to constantly check in on our motivation levels. We treat it like this fuel tank that we're terrified is going to run empty. But that's so exhausting, right? It's always reactive. The real secret is to ask a much more proactive question. And here it is. This is the whole ballgame. Does this energize you enough to repeat it? This question completely changes the focus. It's not about how you feel inside anymore. It's about the task itself. Is the work you're doing actually giving you back some of the energy you're putting into it? So that powerful question leads us directly to a really practical tool, the energy and attention audit. This is how you actually start analyzing your work and building that sustainable system we've been talking about. Think about your workday kind of like this chart. You've got a bucket of tasks that just drain you. And you've got another bucket of tasks that are either neutral or maybe even give you a little boost. The goal isn't to have zero effort. It's to dramatically shift the balance so the energizing stuff far, far outweighs the draining stuff.
So what is it really? The energy and attention audit is just a simple process of looking at all the things you do and asking that one key question, does this drain me or does this sustain me? You basically become a detective of your own energy. And why does this matter so much? Because of this simple, unavoidable truth. I don't care how great a business idea is or how perfect a strategy looks on paper. If the day-to-day reality of doing it constantly drains your soul, you are going to quit. You will quit long before you ever get to the good part. It's just human nature.
Okay, so the concept makes sense, but how do you actually put this into practice? Let's break down the actionable steps you can take, like right now.
It really just boils down to these three things. First, you audit. Just make a list of your tasks and mark the ones that feel okay or even kind of good. Second, eliminate, and you have to be ruthless here. If a task consistently makes you want to crawl under your desk, you have to find a way to delegate it, automate it, or just stop doing it. And finally, you build. You double down on the things that give you energy. You make that the center of your work. So you see what we're doing here? We're completely flipping the script. Instead of you having to constantly find fuel for your work, you're designing your work so that it becomes its own fuel source. It's like building a self-sustaining engine for your own success. And I'll just leave you with this to think about. Seriously, take a second and imagine it. What could you actually get done if your work refueled you instead of drained you? What kind of goals could you hit if you ended your day with more energy than when you started? That's what we're aiming for. That's the whole point.